This here is Boom Studios' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic issue number 54, A New Evil. This picks up the Omega Rangers story following the destruction of Gorvinos 3. As the title of this issue suggests, a new evil is revealed here and it, or they, are revealed to be the Imperial. They claim to be servants of creation and that the Rangers arrived in time to witness a momentous beginning. The Imperials say that they didn't destroy Gorvinos 3, the planet was always in its infancy. The world was cleansed and a new one will be born. For Trini, it seems more like millions of innocent people were just murdered. The Imperials say that the Gorvinians squandered their time on the planet. Their remains flow into the soil, feeding the future and all life that is to come. That, they claim, is the cycle of existence for thousands of planets. The Omega Rangers have enough of listening to the Imperial, so they summon their weapons and engage in battle. As the Rangers begin their assault on the Imperial, it is curious as to why the Rangers oppose them. It genuinely thinks that they're on the same side. As Jason goes in for the attack, the Imperial sends Jason hurtling to the ground, at which point a rock monster springs to life and grabs Jason from behind. With Jason held back, Zack goes in for the next move. He manages to get the Imperial in the head, but it's just a scratch. The Imperial then sends loads of sharp rocks into Zack's body. The Imperial then confirms that they tore one of the emissaries limb from limb, as we saw previously in the unlocked story from the variant covers. With the Omega Rangers down for the moment, C launches weapons at the Imperial from the Spectrum 2. C knows that the weapons won't do anything. It's just to create a diversion so that the Omega Rangers can get back on their feet. Trini smashes the rock monster holding Jason down, but then the Imperial creates another monster. This time it's a lava monster of giant proportions, and it attacks the Spectrum 2, seemingly destroying it as all communication between it and the Rangers are cut off. The Rangers then summon their Zords. They suddenly appear and there's a slight joke asking how the Zords appear so quickly, and from where. Jason says he doesn't care. That, I think, will remain a mystery. Zack asks if they don't want to go straight to the Megazord. So even though they've lost Kia and the blue Omega Zord, they're still able to form the Megazord themselves? I'm now hoping we do get to see the Megazord in future. Anyway, the lava monster is faster than the Omega Zords, and they take a beating. That is until Zack manages to get his Zord to unleash the Omega Sonic Strike. It stuns the monster, but makes it more aggressive. It then launches an attack on Zack's Zord, but Jason was able to get Zack's Zord to take cover. Suddenly, C starts communicating with Trini again. He wasn't destroyed in the earlier attack, and he's got a way to destroy the monster. It will require Trini's help. The Imperial says that it remembers the original Omega Rangers, and that these three are merely shadows. So there seems to be some history between the Imperial and the Omega powers then. The Imperial is rather bored of the Rangers' attacks, and Jason's Omega Fire Fury fails. The lava monster then knocks his Zord down. The monster grabs the Zord's arm and head and is about to destroy the Zord when suddenly Trini calls out to the monster to interrupt its final move. The monster leaves Jason's Zord alone, and Trini's Zord, fused with the Spectrum 2, charges up and unleashes a new finishing move. The Omega Spectrum Blast hits the monster, and it's so powerful that the blast is sent outwards into space. That destroys the lava monster. C tells Jason that the energy readings for the area are negative. Whatever the Imperial was, it vanished. With the planet running out of time, the three Rangers leave and return to the Spectrum 2. They leave the planet and they head back to Safe Haven once again. So it looks like the Omega Rangers will have a tough time ahead of them. They now have to deal with a new evil, and they need to protect the survivors of Gorvinos 3 and maybe other races on Safe Haven. C tells Jason that there are no references to an Imperial in his database. They don't know how something that powerful could go undetected for so long. Jason speculates some idiot woke it up. From what we've seen so far, that idiot could be Drakon. Anyway, this issue ends with Jason wanting to confer with Zordon. What I liked about this is that once again, the Omega Rangers are on a high stakes mission. the Imperial can easily wipe out planets, so they're a greater danger than Lord Zed. This serves as an introduction to the new evil villain, or villains, and I'm keen to find out more about their past and how they tied in with the Omega Rangers of old. It will also be interesting to see how much Zordon knows about the Imperial and why they're showing up now.